Okay, the Premier League fixtures that were played on the 30th of December and on New Year's Eve. Let's start with the 30th of December. Stoke arrived at Stamford Bridge, depleted the defenders, and Hughes resting the likes of Shaqiri, Allen, and Motin and Crouch. Conte left Hazard on the bench as part of his rotation. Now, within 3 minutes, Rudiger had put Chelsea in front, heading in a free kick sent in by Willian. And soon it was 2, when Drinkwater connected with a sweet volley that Buckland watched go past him. Stoke knew it was going to be a long afternoon, and when Pedro took a neat sidestep to create space for a third on 23 minutes, a few of the Stoke following left to avoid any further pain. Before the break, Diouf was denied a goal by a slight handball. Into the second, Berahino had a chance, but a striker without a goal for over a year hit his effort poorly and Courtois pushed it away with ease. Butland defied 2 efforts from Morata and Pedro before Willian was brought down in the box, and he picked himself up and made it 4-0. Comfortable day at the office for Chelsea. So to Anfield, with a clash with Leicester. Now, Puel had a good record against Liverpool, having yet to be beaten. New signing Van Dijk was in the stands watching, and he wouldn't have been impressed by Liverpool's defence conceding within 4 minutes, as Vardy swept in Mahrez's cross after the defence had given the ball away. A combination of stern defence and poor finishing by Firmino, Salah, and a disallowed Mane effort for offside enabled Leicester to keep their lead to the break. Into the second half, and Salah finally got his shooting boots on, wriggling away from defenders after a Mane back heel to equalise on 52 minutes. Leicester had the odd chance, Ndidi going close, and Mane had another offside effort chalked off, but finally the Egyptian shrugged off Maguire and rifled his shot into Schmeichel's left-hand corner, and Leicester were beaten. Claudio Carvajal, he was at his first game in charge of Swansea. He wasn't out of work long, was he? Anyway, they went to Vicarage Road and the Swans started briskly, with Ayew hitting the bar early on. At the other end, Cleverley went close for Watford. On 11 minutes, a Richarlison strike at goal was pushed away by Fabianski, but Carrillo headed in for 1-0 Watford. Chances at both ends early in the second period, but it looked likely that the hosts would take the 3 points. But 4 minutes from time, Ayew snapped up a header across the area. And then in adding time, Nazing reacted quickly to a shot battered out by Gomez to place the ball in the bottom left-hand corner. And Swansea had an unlikely win, 2-1, to make Carvajal a happy man. So, Everton at the Vitality, with Eddie Howe's team desperate for a win after 8 games. Rooney was back on the bench, and early on Pickford was busy, making 2 sharp saves, but he could do nothing to prevent Fraser opening the scoring for the Cherries in the 23rd minute. It was a game that lacked excitement, but Guy got an equaliser on 57 minutes. Bournemouth was still having the better of it, and Ibe hit the bar before another Fraser effort got deflected and looped over Pickford to give Allardyce his first defeat since arriving at Everton. A relieved Howe and Bournemouth out of the bottom 3. Not a lot to say about the other 3 games played on the 30th. They all ended goalless. First, Southampton at Old Trafford. The highlight, Lukaku taking off after a clash of heads. Then Burnley at Huddersfield. Well, Burnley had a clear penalty shout denied, and at St James's Park, where the 2 promoted sides Newcastle and Brighton reminded us of Championship football, with Gale missing a number of chances. So to the New Year's Eve games, and first the runaway leaders went to Selhurst Park, and it turned out to be a gripping game with many talking points. City was certainly below par, and the defence, Messrs Edison and Mangala, got into a right mess on 9 minutes that let Benteke in, but he failed to take advantage of it. Van Arnott had a shot deflected wide off Edison's post, and although City had the majority of possession, Hodgson's men were well organised, and clear opportunities in the first half for City were few and far between. Dad was carried off, as was Jesus in the first half through injury, and Aguero came on for Jesus and had an immediate impact, hitting a post on 28 minutes, but it remained goalless at the break. Into the second half, and City were constantly in possession and assaulting the Palace's goal. But City became more and more frustrated. Sterling came on, but still the goal eluded City. And on 77 minutes, Townsend had a rare chance, unmarked at the far stick, but shot high and wide. Kelly managed to block a shot on the line from De Bruyne. And finally, we got to the last minute when Sterling, chasing back with Sahar, managed to push him slightly, and Sahar fell over in the box, and the referee awarded a penalty. Now, Milosevic hit the penalty, but it went straight at Edison, and so that was that. Not exactly. After that save, the ball was cleared, and De Bruyne was scythed down by Punchin just outside the box, and both were carried off on stretchers. The final whistle came, and Palace had got a pressure point, and City's winning streak was over. The final match of the round, as Spurs and West Ham don't seem to be playing, was at the Hawthorns, with Arsenal the visitors. It's fast becoming a habit at West Brom's matches to describe the first half as largely forgettable, as was the case here. So to the second half, and Lacazette had a couple of chances beaten away by Foster. Albion really lacking up front, with Rondon sidelined. And then we got to 7 minutes before the end, and Sanchez, with a free kick just outside the box, got a wicked deflection off the wall. McLean, and he'd been put there by Pardew from the dugout. Anyway, it looked likely that Arsenal would go home with all 3 points. But then an attempted cross into the box at the other end struck Chambers, and amazingly the referee pointed to the penalty spot, and Rodriguez stepped up and calmly slotted it home. So it ended 1-1, and Wenger was absolutely furious. Pardew more pragmatic. Anyway, that's your wrap. Goal of the this session, and I'm going to give it to Pedro for the third against Chelsea. His neat sidestep created the chance, and he finished with aplomb. Okay, that's your business.